Good morning, welcome to Totter. It's Friday morning and 1st of October, how exciting. We're going to do some work against the wall today, taking you off the chair quite quickly, but for now start in the chair, and as usual, if you're not feeling 100%, then do those exercises that you feel able to do. You can always sit down in the middle, in between, or rest and recover and then come back in again. So, and make sure you have a drink of water close by. So we're going to take our feet nice and wide to start with, and we're going to start by lifting our heels into that circulation boost to start getting your muscles and heart rate, muscles warm and your heart rate raised a little bit. So just lifting one heel and then the other, keeping your feet on the floor though, so not lifting your feet off the floor yet. And then I want you to think about your posture. So how do we do that? So from a slouched, scrunched up position, we lift through the belly and then we lift through the chest. Okay, so just lifting, sending the shoulders back, but keeping the chin in line with the floor. So your chin is parallel to the floor. That's the word. And relax your shoulders, please. And breathe. Excuse me if I cough, that I've got a bit of a cold, but it's fine. So we're going to add in the arms quite quickly today. So we know the temperature's gone down a bit, hasn't it? So heating's on in my house. So if you are cold at home, you can always start with these circulation boost exercises or the warm up, and it will get you warmer quite quickly. But just be mindful of that change in temperature. As it gets colder, you might want to wear a scarf around your face, just to keep that air warm as you're breathing it in. Might stop some coughs and things. So okay, feet are nice and wide, just warming up through the spine, so a little lean to the side and a lift up and reset here. So lifting through the chest and then leaning down to the side, lifting up, and just keep going at your own pace here. And hands are down really, because it relaxes your shoulders. You don't have to, but it just takes that tension out of the shoulders. And keep the bottom, both the bum cheeks, on the chair. And that means that you get more of a stretch through the waist, less of a lift, okay? So we are stretching here, but actually more importantly is we're moving the spine side to side to just mobilize. And then we're going to come into a different spine movement. So it's that lovely twist, that rotation. And imagine the spine just turning side to side. So thinking about all those vertebrae in your spine. Just warming up before we do some bigger movements. And if you're standing, you can cross your arms or you can leave them down by your side. But in sitting, it's nice to just slide one hand down to the knee and the other up to the hip. And I'm going quite quickly, you don't have to go this quickly. And actually, let's go, turn and hold. And send that elbow behind you back a bit more. And send the hand in front forwards, down towards the knee. And come to the front. We're going to go the other side. And this time I really want you to feel that opening, that lovely stretch across the shoulders, across the front of the chest. Excuse me. And then let's go one more each side here. A little turn, rotation, send that elbow back and the other hand forward. So it's like a diagonal pull, push with the elbow and the hand. And one more to the other side. Big push, pull to the centre and back to your little circulation boost. Lovely. Great. Okay, let's work on the ankles. Love this one. So important. So heel toe. Really important. You can hold onto the chair. You could sit back if you wanted to. And if you can't, if you're not too comfortable lifting that leg, you can always just point and flex. But if you can't, let's really dig that heel in and lift the toes. How does that feel? So really notice. Can you actually pull those toes up, or do they need a little bit of a hand? So sometimes if you can't pull them up, sometimes that band around the toes can just help you to squeeze the toes up towards the knee a little bit. Really focused movement here. It's really good for our ankles, our ankle mobility. Let's change sides. So heel and toe, heel and toe. And again, notice this side. Does it feel different? Do you need to maybe work a little bit more on this side? Or is the other side better? Great, keep going. Remember those options. You can always flex and point. That's it. Lovely. And then back to a march. So your ankles should be nicely warmed up, nice and mobile. We're both coughing. It's like stereo coughing here. Okay, little work through the hips. So take one leg out, then take the other leg out. First leg comes in, second leg in. So we go out and out. Peter, I can see you're standing, so just small movements. It's small steps if you're standing. That's it. So out and in. Now keep going, but I want you to make sure the knee comes out as well. Okay, which means you're not cheating and just doing that. That hurts your hips. Okay, it's not nice on your hips. Take your knees out. That's it, so your knees follow. Lovely. Oh, my chair's creaking a bit here. In, out, and in. It's quite strong work into the fronts of the hips here. But it means that we're preparing these muscles for coming up to standing. Okay, and back to your, just a heel lift, just a gentle heel lift. Good. Let's take our arms out. Your favourite exercise. Where's Beryl? She's away. Beryl loves this exercise. Okay, little tiny circle of the arms. So taking the arms backwards, your feet are nice and wide. Relax or drop the shoulders. So try not to kind of lift the shoulders because it's uncomfortable. So little tiny movement. Smile, please. It's lovely, isn't it? Oh, good morning, Annie. I didn't see you there. And we're going to reverse direction. So bring those hands towards me. So forward slightly. You might feel it in your shoulders already. You're allowed to drop your arms down a little bit if it's too much, but we're not here for long. Thumbs up, push towards me. Little pump. Warming up the shoulders, shoulder blades, fronts of the shoulders, and then we're going to take our thumbs down, push back. This is the worst one, okay? Especially if you've got a dodgy shoulder or painful shoulders, and drop those arms. Relax, breathe. Did you hold your breath? I bet you did. Roll through those shoulders. Okay, did you like that? So because you held your breath, we're going to do it again. So little circle backwards, breathe in and out, in and out, in. You're nearly done with this one. I won't make you do it again, honestly, I won't. It's hideous, isn't it? Okay, can you take your hands towards me? So can you make it smaller, tiny little circles? Really focusing on those shoulder joints. Okay, thumbs up, pump to me, and then thumbs down. Nearly done. 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll those shoulders. Now that's not very nice, is it? It's good for you. It's really good for us. It really builds that strength in your shoulders, and hopefully you don't feel that later. It's just really focused work into the shoulder girdle, into those muscles at the top of your arms. So it's really good for you. Okay, let's come up to standing, shall we? Actually, no, we won't. We'll hip walk first. So hip walk to the front, and then we're going to hip walk to the back. So this is just a fantastic exercise. And I was doing it on the sofa the other day, on Monday, and it is much harder on a sofa or on a fabric chair. Much, much harder. So if you want to do this as your exercise, as your homework, jump into a fabric chair or your sofa, because it's hard work. Keep going. If you're not moving forwards and backwards, just come into that sway. So I want to see your whole body moving from side to side, lifting and shifting. So lift the bottom, move it forwards, and then lift and go backwards. And this will really strengthen those muscles that support your pelvis, support the back, lower back, into the bottom. Can you go one more time for me? And then hold it towards the front. Feet come back, and then we're going to stand up. What do we do at the top? Pump your feet, pump your heels. Rob, if you just want to do a bunny hop for now, because we're going to come into sitting. So take steps back, feel the chair behind you, sit down. Slowly. And then hip walk to the front. So big hip walk to the front of the chair, feet back, look forwards. You know the rules here. Big push up, pump your feet at the top, so lifting those heels, taking some steps back, small steps back, stick your bottom out and go down slowly. So controlled, no just plopping down in the chair, okay? That's when you can hurt yourselves, if you just let your body drop into the chair. You need to practice that control. And actually it's really good exercise for your legs when you're taking your time to sit down as well as up. So keep going. You don't have to do this very fast. Just take your time. Feet back. So make sure you practice all of those points. Feet back, eye gaze forwards, lean forwards, big push through the legs and the feet. At the top, lift the heels, pull the belly in, tuck the bottom under, step back. Let's go one more time. So sit down, hip walk forwards. Let's come into standing. Pump at the top every time. And then we're going to walk around the back of your chair, or go to your support, or just stay where you're going to stay. It's up to you. It's up to you entirely. So we're going to start by making a bigger march. So you can hold onto your chair. This time though, see the difference is we're picking the feet up off the floor. So really starting to work through the fronts of the hips, through the thighs, and then into the heart as well. So you might start to get a bit out of breath. Rob, if you would like to lean back a bit in your chair so that it takes that's it. It takes the stress off the fronts of your hips, and just lift those legs. Okay, everybody in standing, we're going to start to point the toes now. So lifting the knees in front of you, pointing the toes down. And are you going toe heel down and peeling up? Heel toe lifts. How's your posture? Have you let it go? Where are your shoulders? Where's your chin? Where is your eye gaze? Just things to think about. Now, and is your bottom sticking out? Tuck it under if you can. So it just protects your spine if we tuck that bottom under. Good. Okay, we're going to step. 2 steps to the side and 2 steps back. Now, you know that you can go in front of your support. You can have a wall. So just 2 steps. So then we're going to add on 2 steps. So just stay with the 2 steps for now. Good. How do you feel? You keep going with 2 steps. I'm going to walk back for 2. And I'm going to step side for 2. Step together. Step. So I'm making a box step. Step to the side. I'm going to step twice back. Step to the side. Front step. Front step. To the side, and I'm doing single steps back, but I'm making 2 of those steps. I'm going to move my chair so you can see. So I'm going 1 together, 2 together, step to the side. Or you could just, if you don't have enough room, you could just kind of just do 1 step back, 1 step forward. So it's that block that I want you to think about. Okay, It's going in different directions, stepping, not necessarily in a walking step. That's it. How does that feel? Does it feel odd because you're stepping together? Okay, let's change that into a walk now. So we're going to walk forwards for 2. We're going to step to the side for 2. So you still need to step together. We're going to walk back for 2, step to the side for 2. Walk forward. Good. Side. And walk backwards. How's that? Is that scarier? Or do you feel steadier? It's more normal for us to walk like that. But actually, that stepping back can be quite scary. Let's do one more. Good. Step back. Fabulous. Good. And then just come into a gentle heel lift. Lovely. How do you feel? Are you okay? We've done lots of walking, so you should be okay. Good. Lovely. Fab. Okay, we're going to come into a lunge. And you know we love a lunge. So I'm side onto my chair and I'm going to step out and forwards. And I'm going to push back. Rob, anybody sitting? Still the same. Come to the front third of your chair. Just take a step and lean. So this time, we're taking quite a lot of weight through that leg. And I'll show you from the side because I'm actually stepping quite far forwards and leaning into that front foot rather than just a step. We're heel, whole foot, lean, take the weight through that leg. And a little bit of power is needed to push off. You can use your chair to hold on to. And you can alternate legs. Or if you're unsure and you want to just stay on one side for now, you can. Do what you need to do. You all right, Brenda? If you need to rest, rest, and then just stay in the chair and carry on, or stand up and come back in. It's up to you entirely. Otherwise, everybody else. So it's really good for us, this movement. For stairs, slopes, getting in and out of your car. That power through the legs we need. For lots of things. If you're out gardening, keep going. So using the big muscles in your legs might make you a little bit breathless, and that's fine as long as you could still talk to me if I was to say, how are you? And you could go, I'm all right, Pat, thanks. If you're kind of like, then you're doing too much and you need to rest a little bit. But always, always keep those feet pumping if you need to rest, or squid your toes up in your shoes. So lots of repetition. Good. Okay. And a little march. Fantastic. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to move my chair forwards a bit. So I just want you to watch. So I'm going to put together a couple of moves. So I'm going to walk to my chair and then I'm going to step. Other leg. And then you can either walk back round to where you started from and go again. So it's a walk and a lunge with the other leg, and then a walk around, or you could walk backwards. Depends on how much room you've got. This time I'm going to swap. Oh, I keep standing on the lights. I'm going to swap my leading leg. What does that mean? So I'm going to walk still. When I stop, I'm going to land with my other leg and push off, then a step and come back, and a little walk round. Da, 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 da. Why are we doing this? Because we could be out and about and you might have dropped something, so we have to go, oh, I need to get that. Some people, you know, you might not have anybody around you that can help you, but actually it's really good to practice these different functional movements while we're doing other stuff as well. Let's go again, keep going. That's it, Rob, you could do, yeah, keep going. So just leaning, so that little, lovely Rob, and it looks like you're trying to pick something up. Great, we'll add that in as well. So that's it, hold it there. So same kind of movement, we're not going to walk this time, but we are going to pick something up off the floor. So I've got my water bottle, and it's quite tall really, so I'm going to put that on the floor. Imagine you are going to pick something up off the floor, so it's that big step. I'm leaning, just watch for me, watch first, I'll show you from the side. So I'm stepping, I'm bending from my hips, and I'm leaning, I'm bending through that front leg. You might not be able to get that far down, so it might be just an imaginary something off another chair. But what I'm doing is I'm looking down about 45 degrees to the floor. I'm not kind of rounding my spine too much, okay? And then I'm going to lean forwards and I'm going to put it down again and then come back up. So what does it look like from the front? From the front, I'm actually stepping out, okay? If I was to step, just watch, if I was to step here, then I'm really wobbly. I've got no base of support and I'm going to fall. Chances are I'm going to fall. So feet wide, stepping out, and then lean, okay? And then we're going to step and put it back down or lift it. So a step, a lean, leave it and step back. So always, I can't stress enough, that wide base is what's going to keep you steady, strong and balanced. Okay, step. In seated, so Chris and Rob, step, lean. So as if you were picking something up, step back in, step out, lean. That's it. Good, good. I just thought I'd have a drink while I was there and have a little rest, because I need to do the other leg. Do you? Have you just done one leg? Because I did. If you've done both, you're allowed to have a rest or carry on. So, really important to do both legs. And actually, if this is your weaker leg, really important to do it even more. So a step, get that feeling first. You might just want to step and come back. Feel it first. Because you know, if your back ankle isn't that mobile, you might find it quite difficult to lift the heel there. And I'll show you from the side here. So in stepping, my back ankle, my heel is lifted, and as I lean forwards, I'm onto the balls of my feet and my toes are bent. Now we practiced this the other week, really flexing the toes, okay? So that's why we warm these ankles up. Because here, think about the front leg, my foot's nice and neutral, and then as I lean forwards, I've got a lot of pressure through that ankle. But mostly the back foot as we lift that heel and we come onto the toes. And then we take all our weight back. So keep going if you can. If you've had enough, have a little rest. I'll let you have a sit down in a minute, and then we'll come to the wall in a sec. But you'll have time to have a drink in a second. So it's like a big step and a little lunge. You know, like when we're trying to lean on the floor, on the wall, and we're dropping that knee. It's kind of that knee drop again, isn't it? Because what we don't want you doing is that, picking stuff up off the floor like that, because it hurts your back. Right, have a sit down, grab a drink. Are we okay? Was that quite hard? You're right, Ulla. You're straight back into it, bless you. Take it easy today, Ulla, because we are kind of, This class is a bit harder than the other one, so it's more focused. I can't hear you, but don't worry, we'll catch up after. I don't know what you're saying. You're tired. Just rest. Honestly, if you're tired, rest. And gather, have a drink and wait till you've caught up. Oh, look.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Right. I've done these exercises, most of them every day.
Good. Lovely.
And the leg
Fabulous.
exercises were different.
Yes.
The leg exercises were different. I did them as well. So I'm quite okay.
Good. Lovely. Okay.
My heart just won't let me do too much.
And that's fine to sit down. You're doing the right thing to sit down in between if you need to. You know your own bodies, and that's what we say. You don't need to carry on going. If I say you've got 10 more, you don't need to do it. If you're feeling you need to sit down and rest. Have a drink at any point. So, thank you. Okay, so have a drink. If you've had a drink, you should have got your breath back. So, we're going to move to the wall in a second to do some press-ups and some side press-ups and other things. Okay, so let's come up to standing. You can do it against a chair, or Rob will give you, and Chris, if you wanted to stay sitting, or Una, we'll give you some seated options. Oh good, Annie's marching away. Fabulous. You're so well trained. You're such great ambassadors for us because you just do it automatically. So I'm going to walk over to my wall, my lovely pink wall. And again, what am I thinking of? My nice wide feet to make sure I'm steady. I'm away from the wall and I'm going to just step closer to it. So the easier way is to step quite close, but not so close you'll overbalance backwards. Hands are wide and shoulder height, and take them wider than your shoulders. I'm going to step back a little bit, and with your body staying straight, you just let your head, your face come towards the wall and then push off. So while we're doing this, I want you to drop those shoulders. I want you to pull the belly in and tuck the bottom under and just lower yourself to the wall, and a big push off through the hands. Okay, so really push through the hands, push that wall away, or the chair, whatever you're using, to push your body away. Now, if that's too easy, you can step away a little bit more and just drop those hands down a bit. So it's a lower and a push. Keep breathing. Try not to hold your breath here. If it's too uncomfortable, then step closer to your support. You know you've got lots of options, okay? So it's a big push off the wall and then lower down. Now it's really important to breathe here. Just don't hold your breath. If you need to have a rest, then have a rest and stop and start again. That's it. Lovely, Rob. Good. Okay, slight change. Fingers, hands are coming in narrow. So your hands are a bit lower than your chest and your elbows go down towards the floor and they tuck into your side. So they're kind of touching your ribs, and then you push off through the hands, keeping those elbows pointing down. And that means that you're working through the backs of the arms. Okay, that's it. And if you're against the chair, you might want to just take one foot back and just drop those hands down. That's it. So you're bending through the elbows. Good, good. Can't quite see you all, but you look like you're doing well. Okay, how about come up to standing. We're going to take one hand up and wide and the other hand lower down. Rob, I'm not sure how you could press in between. Kind of elbow up, And then you could swap hands, hands down, hands forwards, hands up. Otherwise, if you're against the wall, one hand up, one hand down, and swap hands. If you're strong enough, steady enough, you could actually push your body off and then allow your hands to come back. So you're adding a little press off, a little bit of momentum, and adding some more weight, some more resistance through those wrists and hands, which is great for your bone health, bone density, shoulders. It's like a little jump, but with your hands and your arms. So it's a little push, take the weight off and allow your body to come back through the hands. Lovely, good, good. And then let's go side on. So, and you can practice this on the bed. If you were here on Monday in falls prevention, we were on the sofa. So we're going to come up to the side of the wall, shoulder and the top of the arm is resting against the wall. And I'm taking my feet away a bit. If I'm quite close, then I'm going to push myself over, or I'm not taking any weight through this outside arm. So what we want is, we want you to take some weight through the arm on the outside edge. So this arm that is not against the wall pushes against the wall, push your body off, and then allow your body to drop back down. I'm going to walk my feet away. Push and lower. That's it, Rob, you keep pushing through your hands. I can't quite see what chair you're on. Sometimes if you're in a wheelchair or a chair with arms, it's good to push down through those arms, because this is the same kind of, it's not the side push, but it's actually pushing your body weight through the arms. So practice on the bed, on the sofa, trying to get off your side. So push and lower, push. And then how do you feel if we push off and then put that elbow onto the wall? And then take the hand on, lower yourself down. So you're right on the top of your arm again. Push onto the elbow, lower down. And that's the equivalent of you lying on the side. Imagine I'm on my bed and I'm pushing my body weight up, and then I swing my legs down to sit on the edge of the bed. That is this movement. But we need to practice it. Okay, let's swap sides. So, first of all, I'll go to this one. I think you can still see me. So I'm going to walk my feet out. My outside hand pushes against the wall, and I just literally push my body weight off and lower back onto the wall. Push off, lower back, let go. Push. Rob, have you got a band with you? You could do some of these lovely dumb waiters, these lovely pulling apart while we're finishing doing this, because I expect your arms are a bit sore now. You've done the same one for a little while. So push and release. Push your body weight off. Lower back down. Keep going. Keep going. 2 more. And then we're going to add in that elbow. So we push our body weight off, put the elbow onto the wall, and then lower yourself back down by supporting yourself with that outside arm. Push, elbow, hand, and lower. If it's too easy, take a step out. If it's too hard, step in, but be careful. Dum-de-dum. Dum-de-dum. Da-da-da. There you go, done. Are we okay? Give me a thumbs up. Should we just do some knee bends? No, we'll have a sit down, Ola, if you're not happy. We're just going to do some knee bends and a bit of balance as well. Because you're so good. We can double you up. So, feet are wide, toes are out. Let's just start first of all by a reach. So we're going to reach out and forwards. And swap arms and reach out and forwards. So quite quickly the weight starts to come onto the balls of your feet, yeah? Good. Lovely. And then we're going to come into a knee bend. So Rob, anyone sitting, still a reach. For people sitting, it's a bunny hop. In standing, it's a knee bend. Reach with one arm. Knee bend. Slowly. So we're not rushing this, okay? So I'm bending my knees. I'm coming up and then I'm reaching forwards and out. And then a knee bend. Standing up, reaching forwards. Good. And out. Reaching. Bending. Lovely. Oh, good, Rob. Oh, he's doing a big stand. Fabulous. That's it. Keep breathing. So bend those knees. Keep your feet nice and wide. And then just reach for me. Bend. Reach. Good. Bend. And reach. 2 more if you can manage it. Good. Fab. Wonderful. Come and have a sit down. Grab a band if you've got one. Grab a drink if you need to. Sit safely in your chairs. Is everybody okay-ish? Yeah, good. Fab. So, if you've got a band, pop it on your lap. Actually, pop it under. Let's do those legs. So, underneath your thighs, towards your knees. Bring your knees together, feet together. Put that band over one side and over the other. And they do kind of squidge in, so don't worry. And then I just want you to hold the centre of it, so you're not holding the ends. Breathe. Walk your feet out. I'm going to go back so you can see. So feet are wide and you can see my knees are in, and I'm just going to send my knees out. But I'm going to do it really slowly today. And I want you to think about your posture. So we're sitting upright, my shoulders are relaxed and I can breathe properly. Big breaths. So taking those knees out. If you feel it's too easy, pull that band a bit more as a woodlouse. Out and in. At least it's not a spider. Out and in. Oh, I hate spiders. He's coming towards me now. It's all right, I'm safe. It's only a woodlouse.
Oh, it's the woodlouse?
Yes. He normally comes and visits Helen. So just keep going. Nice gentle movements through those legs, through the hips. This time we're going to hold it open and just tiny little pulses. Tiny weeny little presses. Tiny weeny little presses. Keep that belly pulled in. Keep breathing as it gets harder. You tend to hold your breath. Rest, relax those knees in. You can slump, but keep that band there for me. Guess what? We're going to go again. So, walk your feet in, pull that band, hold on to the centre, walk the feet out. So you're a bit knock-kneed to start with. And then we're going to take those feet, the knees out. Feel that tension through the knees. Just hold there for a second for a change. Just hold. Pull the belly in. Lift the chest. Breathe in and out. Smile. It's Friday. And I can see the sun glimpse in through the door. How lovely. We've been caught in rain for like 3 days. And I don't know if you know, but my hair goes really frizzy in the rain, so it's not a good look. Okay, knees in and out. In and out. In and out. That's it. Can you feel it in your hips or your knees or your ankles? That's it. Couple more. Last one. And then let go. Fabulous. Now, let's do our squeezing the dishcloth, tea towel, whatever it might be. You can imagine what this could be. Okay, so we're going to bring it into the body, and I want you to grasp, kind of, I'll come up close to the camera so you can see, grasp that band with both hands, with all of your fingers and your thumb, so you're gripping it for dear life. Send it away and keep squeezing. Really push those wrists away and then bring it back in. I'll come up and show you. So it kind of starts here, and then I'm kind of twisting, so I'm already in a twist, and then as I come away, I'm then going to push. I'm pushing this wrist away and the other one in the opposite direction. So I'm really getting some hyperextension through, some big pushes through those wrists, and pull back in. And I'm squeezing with all of my fingers and my thumb. Okay? So start into the body, push away. You can do it with a dishcloth, a tea towel, pair of tights if you have them, anything. But it's that squeeze through the fingers and push of the wrists, okay? That's really going to strengthen those wrists. And finger strength is massive as we get older. We used to test grip strength. We don't do it so much now, but okay. We're going to put the top hand on the bottom. This time you're out. When you're out, you're gonna kind of twist it away from you, and then you bring it in. Push away. Bring it in. Are you squeezing with all of your fingers? Right, your pinky to your thumb. Big squeeze. Bring it back in. And it's tiring on your fingers, isn't it? Who would have thought? It makes your fingers ache a bit. But honestly, I noticed it a couple of years ago probably. I used to be the one that they go, Mum, can you open this jar? And I'm not the one that just does it now. I have to whack it on a wall first. So, you know, you do lose that strength. So practice to keep it, and then let go. Oh, open your fingers and just open and release. Good. Lovely. Dee-dee. Dun-dum. Now I'm going to show you the ankle one. I really, really love this ankle exercise. Can we come down to the feet, please, Owen? And I'll try and get a really close-up one. Thanks. I'll go back a bit. So I'm going to put the band in between my knees. You don't have to have the band in between knees, but it just helps you to focus. And then I'm going to take my feet forwards a bit. Now, you can hold onto the chair or just have your hands resting. I'm going to send my heels away. I don't know if you can see. So I'm going to send my heels away. So my toes are touching, my knees are touching. Then from here, I'm going to lift the inside edges of my feet up. So I'm squeezing these bits. It is. I might get you to help me show how to do it. Then I'm going to slide my feet away, and I'm lifting, and it might give you a bit of cramp. I'm lifting these edges, the outside edges of my feet, up and out. Drop your feet down, squeeze them in, lift the big toes up together. Down, out, lift the little toes up and out. So you can really feel it on the tops of your toes, yeah? And then here you can feel it on the bottoms of your toes and maybe into the instep, the inside. So you probably can feel it on the inside edges of your ankles and then the outside edges, because it's really squeezing around the joint here. And that's what we want. And imagine you're on a cobbled step in Truro. And I fell the other week. I was in St Agnes in the dark, and I was walking back from a little event that one of the surgeries had, and I went in a dip. I stood in a dip, and I went over on my ankle, and I fell onto my hands and knees. My ankle was a bit sore for a while, but actually if my ankles weren't strong, that's when you really have massive problems. That's when you can do a lot of damage when you fall over, because you don't have that strength around your ankles to correct yourself. And obviously I wasn't quick enough to correct myself, but I didn't hurt myself very much. But this is really good for strengthening around the ankles, and it's really targeted. That's the word, it's targeted, and it can feel really strong. So I can feel it here and then around the edges and just have a rest. So that's quite tough. Yeah or no? I love that exercise because that's one of the ones, you know, when you do have a wobble, and I had heels on, not very high and chunky, but I hadn't had heels on for a long time. I've been in my flip-flops and sandals and pumps and things, so it doesn't help. So just really focused work on the ankles. There you go. Shall we stretch? Let's stretch and do some relaxation, because you've worked really hard today. Well, you always do. So let's stretch these ankles. So just take your foot away and relax it. Just relax it. And then I want you to point the toes. And then flex the foot. Try and spread those toes out. Just let them relax off, and then relax the foot. Wiggle the toes in your shoes, or just wiggle them. Spread them out and then crunch them up. You can't see in my shoes. Crunch your toes up, separate them. Crunch them up and separate them, and then let's swap sides. So let's point the toes, squeeze up, point them again and squeeze up. Then we're going to separate the toes, crunch them up, open them out, crunch them up and open them out. Just a couple more in your own time. And last one. Good. Lovely. Okay, we're going to take the other leg away, and we're just going to come into our usual hamstring stretch. So stretching off the back of the knee, the back of the thigh, by leaning forwards, and I'll show you from the side. It's a hinge from the hip, so I'm leaning forwards. My neck is still in line with my spine, so I can feel a lovely stretch down the back of my leg. I'm going to sit up, I'm going to relax my foot off, and then I'm going to squeeze my toes to my thigh, to my knee, sorry. Squeeze it right up as much as you can, and that gives you a lovely calf stretch. And then let's come to the other leg. So other leg, hands on the other thigh, lean forwards. Feel that stretch. So your toes should be pointing upwards. Breathe. And then come up, relax the foot off and squeeze those toes up. And relax. And squeeze up and relax. Lovely. Okay, let's stretch the arms. So we're going to take one arm, and I'm going to take it either to my shoulder or across my body, and I'm just going to support it with the other arm. And then we're stretching the triceps. So when we did those little exercises on the wall, we're stretching out those muscles that we've worked. Lovely. And then let's reach up and over your head. Just stretching out the ribs, the muscles around the ribs. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Go on to the other side. Oh, excuse me. Did you hear my sinuses squeak? I sneeze and they go wee. That's my sinuses. So I apologise for that. It's hilarious. People go, what is that noise? Breathe, relax. You're nearly done. Take one hand up. And over. Breathe. And down. Let's take the hands to the lower back. Squeeze those elbows towards each other. Just lift the chin slightly. Feet are wide. And forwards a little bit actually. That helps you even to stay even steadier. And then take those hands over the knees, round the spine this time, drop the chin towards the chest. Have a wiggle jiggle if you need to, just stretching out the shoulder blades, across the shoulders, across the back, up the length of the spine. Fabulous. Come up to sitting, let's circle through the wrists one way and then the other way. And then let's just bring those fingers towards the elbows, so palms facing down, just tucking those hands, those fingers. And then the other side, just pulling them gently for a stretch over the top of your hand, top of the wrist. Lovely. And then sit, just sit. Have a blankie if you need one. And just a couple of moments of breathing. So close your eyes if you want to. Or look out the window. Or just go to sleep. I don't mind. Do what you need to do. Just 2 minutes of recovery time. So just focusing on your breath. Taking some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you might notice that your breathing feels more regular. You might feel your heartbeat, or you might be aware of it settling. You might not. Just be aware of your environment, of the sounds around you, those normal sounds that you're comfortable with. And just let them go. Be aware of them, but don't let them bother you. You're safe. And then just feeling the temperature of the room that you're in. Do you feel warm? Or are you a bit chilly? Do what you need to do to feel comfortable. How are your joints feeling and your muscles? Are you achy or are you okay? You might feel nicely stretched and released. And just focus on your breath. When we stop focusing on our breath, when I start to ask you to breathe deeply and then we stop, you come to a more normal breathing pattern, and that's great. That's our comfort zone. But sometimes we need to take some more notice of our breath and use our breath to relax, to allow us to focus on relaxing and to just enable our bodies to come into that rest and digest phase. And it means we just may need to focus on where that breath lands. So where does it go to? And that breath in, does it travel deeply down to the bottom of your lungs or to the outside edges of the ribs? Can you feel your ribs swelling? Or does it travel deep down into your belly? Can you hear your breath? And does your breath feel warm? However it feels to you is fine. Just know that it gives your body a chance to recover. You can use your breath to recover and relax, or recover and re-energize for the rest of the day. So it depends what you've got going on, really. And sometimes we need to pace ourselves. So if we know we've got a busy afternoon, we might just need to take time to rest and re-energize for later. So just moving your toes now. Moving your fingers. Rolling through your shoulders. Opening your eyes. Let's roll one shoulder. Use your elbow and then the other. Like a little backstroke in the sea. Have a deep breath in. Make a circle with your hands. As you breathe out, bring your hands down. You can take another deep breath in. I might cough. Bring your hands down. Give yourself a little round of applause for a job very well done. I hope you're all right. Hope you have a great weekend and enjoy the weather. Be safe and we'll see you next week. Take care, lovely people. This was iCareiMove.